Multiple roles on Capitol Hill were on the line in the Show Me State. In the U.S. Senate race, the Associated Press has reported incumbent Republican Josh Hawley the winner, beating out Democrat Lucas Kunce. As votes kept coming in, the lead went back and forth until the race was called. Libertarian W.C. Young gathered 1% of the votes. Young and Klein each secured a little under 1%. Missouri's 6th congressional district was on the line. Sam Graves was a heavy favorite, and there were no surprises in this race. The Associated Press has called it for the incumbent Republican, who will retain his spot in Washington, winning 71% of the vote, considered a landslide. He's represented the Show Me State in Washington, D.C. since 2001. We have some statewide Missouri races for you, more statewide Missouri races, starting with the governor's race. The AP has called for Mike Kehoe to win this race at 59%. He's set to succeed Mike Parson after serving under him as lieutenant governor. After learning of his win at his watch party in Jefferson City, Kehoe addressed the supporters in attendance, saying, quote, "Our victory is a win for our cops, our firefighters, our farmers, and our job creators. It's a win for students who deserve good schools and a brighter future. It's a win for families who want safe streets and lower taxes. So to all Missourians, this is your victory. Enjoy tonight, because tomorrow morning, this morning, we get to work together for an even safer, stronger, and more prosperous Missouri," end quote. His opponent, Democrat Crystal Quaid, sent KTVO a statement saying, quote, "While today's results weren't what we hoped for, I'm immensely honored by the support our campaign received throughout our state. However, hope is not lost. I'm proud of and thankful for the hundreds of thousands of Missourians who gathered signatures, talked to their neighbors, worked, and voted to restore our reproductive freedom. I've called Governor-elect Kehoe to congratulate him, and I wish him the best of luck." Well, when we were with you last night, Adair County results were still being tabulated. Earlier this morning, those results finally came in. Let's start with a contested race we followed all throughout this election cycle. That's the Adair County Sheriff's race. Republican Jason Lean is facing a challenge from write-in candidate Matt Kellison. Unofficial results show that Lean has won quite comfortably with 82% of the votes, with 100% reporting. In the race for Adair County District 2 Commissioner, Republican Gayla McHenry is going up against Harley Harrelson. It appears McHenry is the unofficial winner of this one, with 69% of ballots cast in her favor. We do have final results in the Knox County Sheriff's race. Incumbent Sheriff Carl Kanaki is facing a challenge from independent candidate Quentin Dalton. Kanaki is the unofficial winner of this race, with securing 69% to Dalton's 31%. Current Knox County Coroner Alan Reimer was facing opposition from Jeffrey Doss. It looks like Reimer will keep his job, handily beating out Doss with 70% of the vote in this unofficial final. Shifting now to Schuyler County, we have final results here as well. The Northern District Commissioner's race featured Anthony Wilson and Lucas Michelini. The unofficial winner of this race tonight with 77% of the votes is Wilson. Meanwhile, in Sullivan County, the two candidates running for District 1 Eastern District Commissioner are Rye Page and John H. Buell. It looks like Page has come out on top of this one with 74% to Buell's 26%. The race for Macon County's 2nd District Commissioner features Jeffrey Micklin battling against Clarence Walker. By a vote of 64% to 36%, it looks like the unofficial winner of this race is Micklin. Shifting focus to the amendments on Missouri's ballot. Amendment 2 had voters decide whether or not sports gambling should be allowed in the state. The measure apparently passed, but it's still very close with a 78% reporting. It's 50-50 right now, but the yes votes are ahead by just a couple of thousand. Pro-choice versus pro-life was on the ballot for Missouri Amendment 3. A vote for yes allows a woman the right to choose. A vote for no continues the ban on abortion in Missouri. Amendment 3 has passed. That was called earlier this morning with a vote of 52% to 48%. Missouri Amendment 7 addressed voting requirements. The provision would specify only U.S. citizens are entitled to vote and would reject ranked choice voting. With an unofficial majority, it passes with 68% to 32%. And minimum wage is currently $12 an hour in the state of Missouri. Voters took to the polls to determine if that would increase to $13.75 this January and to $15 an hour in 2026. The unofficial results say, with 98% reporting, we're looking at a pass with 58% to 42%. Now we turn our focus to the Hawkeye State. Once again, President-elect Donald Trump won Iowa's 6 electoral votes. Let's take a look at some of these state races and measures. It was a contested race in Iowa's U.S. House District 3. Lenon Bacom and Zach Nunn were tied for much of the evening. When the Associated Press called the race, Zach Nunn earned re-election with 52% of the votes. Taking a look now at results in the Iowa U.S. House District 1 race. Right now, this is the closest race we're following by far. With 98% of the vote in, Representative Marionette Miller Meeks is leading, but only by a few hundred votes over Democratic contender Christina Bohannon. Taking a look now at Iowa Amendment number 1 that would prohibit non-citizens from voting in Iowa. Results are showing voters in favor of this amendment, but again, nothing has been officially called. This amendment would also allow 17-year-old Iowans who turn 18 by the general election to vote in primary elections. With just 95% of the statewide ballots tallied, the amendment is currently passing by 76% of the vote, quite comfortably. Also tonight, the partial results right now for Iowa Amendment 2. It's currently passing by 81% of the vote, with 96% reporting. Amendment 2 provides that if the governor of Iowa dies or is otherwise unable to carry on the duties of the office, the lieutenant governor assumes the duties. It would also allow the new governor to appoint a new lieutenant governor. Let's move now to some local Southeast Iowa races. First, we'll take a look at the race for Wapello County Sheriff, featuring incumbent Donald Phillips facing a challenge from Kelly Lee Fikert. It looks like Phillips has come out on top in this one by a vote of 60% to 40% over Fikert. Shifting now to the Wapello County Supervisor's race, Carrie Teninti and Brian Morgan are facing off for one open seat. It appears the unofficial winner for this one is Teninti, winning by a final of 54% to 46%. In Van Buren County, residents are deciding a school bond. The funds would be used to build a new elementary school. It appears a majority of voters have said no to this public measure, with 79% of the votes. Coming back to Missouri, here are a look at some of the other state races. Nothing has been called yet for the lieutenant governor's race, but early results show Republican David Wassinger in the lead with 57% of the votes. We will continue to monitor this race. The same goes for the Secretary of State's race. Results so far have Republican State Senator Denny Hoskins in the lead with 58% of the votes, 95% reporting there. Vivek Malik is ahead in the treasurer race, but nothing has been officially called by the AP. But judging by our system here, we're looking at 58% to 38% against opponent Mark Osmak with 95% reporting. And for the Attorney General race, Andrew Bailey is ahead with 60% of the vote. Again, nothing officially called yet. We'll continue to watch these results very closely.